Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another Thursday edition of 30 NSG. On today's show, we got lots to talk about. We got the tech demo of Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra. We're going to go over. We're going to talk about Blizzard fixing Diablo into Season 4 1 year after. Who predicted that? We're going to talk about Sea of Thieves preview. They're talking about what they're doing for the remainder of the year. There's a couple of changes they made that I thought was interesting, so we're going to talk about that. And then if we have time, we're going to talk about more Fortnite players can now make and publish their own Lego games with Inside Fortnite, and Blizzard and Overwatch 2 devs fear that story missions have been canceled. This is what we do every single day, Monday through Thursday. If you like what we do here, we go over news stories, have conversations, give you my opinions. And if you like that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do live streams, we do uploads, we do podcasts, we do what else we do? Oh, we do gameplay as well. We just finished Lightyear Frontier last night. We finished the campaign story or whatever. It's an early preview program or game preview program over on Game Pass and Microsoft. So you can go check those out. The video that we did last night is private now. It's going to be moving on over to 30 and Still Gaming, which is our gaming esque channel. We are going to be doing nerding with 30 after this show. So I'm going to be doing this show talking about these conversations and these topics. Then I don't know if I'm going to take a break yet or if I'm just going to go right into it and then I'll just edit this later. I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do yet. I'll figure it out as we go. What's going on, chat? What's going on, Z? What's going on, Stealth? Travis, Water Bear, Big Mo, Dolphin, Kylo Green. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Eclipse. If I miss anybody? All right. So let's start off. Let's start off with the Sea of Thieves game preview. Is what we're going to start off with. Okay. This is a 20-minute thing. So let's get it started.
Thieves 2024 preview event, where we're going to give you your first look at some of the exciting features coming to Sea of Thieves this year. We're going to share information around what's coming in Seasons 12 and 13, as well as even further into the future, with a sneak peek behind the curtain on Season 14. So grab a grog and get ready for...
Yeah, I probably will, Mo. I probably will.
Adventure as we reveal some of the incredible bounty of features headed to Sea of Thieves in 2024.
Sea of Thieves is a pirate sandbox adventure game where players create those stories together. And in the world of Sea of Thieves, there are tools and items that may seem simple on the surface, but when they're in the hands of real players who are playing in their own way and bringing their creativity, it really...
This is taking place for the remainder of the year, right? So this is 2024's other stuff that they're bringing in, but this is not all the stuff they're bringing in.
Really showcases that the sandbox is more than the sum of its parts as it creates these memorable stories.
This year, in 2024, our focus is on giving you more tools, more possibilities, and with that freedom out on the waves, give you the possibilities to have these amazing moments and really changing up the core moment-to-moment gameplay of the sandbox.
All right, Season 12.
The kind of main aims for Season 12 are about mixing up the meta and how players enjoy all of the different aspects of Sea of Thieves. So as part of Season 12, we're going to be adding 2 new weapons and 3 new tools for players to use.
Okay. An area we haven't really delved into since launch is adding new weapons to the game. New weapons that give you new tactical choices and strategies out there on your adventures. So in Season 12, we're going to be adding the double-barrel pistol and throwing knives.
The double-barrel flintlock is a new type of pistol weapon where you can fire 2 shots individually before you need to reload, or you can charge them together and release them at once for a more powerful shot.
That's interesting, right? So now it's a pistol, but it's also a shotgun. It's like a blunderbuss and a pistol at the same time. You get 2 shots of a pistol, and then you get, if you hold it, it does a blunderbuss shot type of thing.
We wanted to kind of create this new weapon archetype that's a bit shorter range, but a faster fire rate, but perhaps not as powerful or damaging as the flintlock pistol. But then it has those kind of blunderbuss-like qualities as well.
Dude, There's going to be people that are owning people with this gun.
Where you can do the charge shot to release 2 pellets at the same time.
Accompanying that double barrel flintlock with another weapon like the cutlass, for example, for a finishing blow can lead to a fast time to kill for a player to be able
Shots and a
to
hit.
quickly take down a target.
Season 12 also brings in the throwing knives as a weapon. Now, these can be used as a melee item. They have a light and a heavy melee action, but they can also be thrown and used at range as well.
You can use it to
I have a question. If I can throw a dagger, can I throw my sword?
kind of like stab players with like a quick attack, but that doesn't do much damage. Or you can charge it to like pull it into this kind of more dangerous stabbing motion. That'll slow the player's movement down and give this like really high
So it
damage
stuns them.
attack for if you like sneak up behind players. And then finally, it has the ability to kind of flip the knife over, catch it, and then throw it at distance against players, which, again, kind of feels like a trick shot, and it'll do a lot of damage as well.
When you throw a throwing knife, and if you miss, you can actually go in the world and it'll stick into any of the geometry, and you can just pull it out, and then it'll replenish your ammo. So
I can see little games and stuff like this, because Sea of Thieves is like this. Like, if you find a community within the thing, you can have, like, there's dice and random things that you can do. Now, they just showed, like, you throwing the knife into the target. Like, they could have, like, little games, like, if you have a little group together. You know what I mean? Like, little side things. It's not really part of the game, but it is part of the game, because that's what Sea of Thieves is. It's a pirate sandbox game. You do what you want with it. If you want to go find treasure, go find treasure. So I like that they add a couple things like this into the game.
I think personally, for me, this is really good because sometimes I miss, as I'm sure some of us do. So you can then just go ahead and pick it up again.
So you get these wonderful moments where a pirate might throw a knife at you, but then you can retrieve that knife and throw it back to them.
See, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So it'll really mix up the kind of combat scenarios you can expect out in the world and when boarding other ships.
Right.
There are 3 new tools in Season 12, the Wind Caller, the Scatter Shot, and the Bone Caller.
With the scatter shot, the way that it's different to a standard cannonball is it's a collection of 4 cannonballs, but they're
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot they made, like, smaller holes, medium holes, and, like, larger holes based on what type of stuff you have. So they have smaller balls now
much smaller.
to do more damage to the boat.
They have a much shorter fall off in range.
Okay. So you have to
And
get
a
close.
really wide spread, allowing you to hit a target with multiple projectiles at the same time.
And it does really small amounts.
Oh, man. Okay, so if you have a bunch of these things on your boat, you pull up next to another boat, it's 3 balls, right? So if you have 2 cannons on each side, that's 6 shots shooting, okay? If you hit direct hits at 6 holes on the boat over there, it still takes 1 piece of wood, but it takes real fast for them to feel, to heal it up. But that takes 1 wood a piece, so you're like purging through their wood stock.
Damage to the ship, just like a level 1
that's
size
cool.
hole. So like really quick for players to repair, but it can kind of overwhelm a crew quite quickly.
Basically, if
Yeah.
you get up close with the scatter shot and you can get a few onto your enemy, they're going to have a lot of holes and they're going to have a pretty bad time.
What it will do is
Right, so your boat doesn't fill up fast, right? But there's a lot of holes. And it's easy to fix, but you're burning through your wood supply.
really eat up an opponent's resources.
Yeah.
They need to use more wood to repair the many holes that the scatter shot puts into the hull.
So the Bone Caller is an awesome new throwable that players can wield, and they can throw that on the floor, and when it smashes, all these kind of bones come out, and then skeletons spawn around the player in allegiance to them, and they'll
Oh, that's cool. So now this is good for solo players.
actually fight beside the player against enemy players and enemy AI.
Now, you might not be going straight for just a normal cannonball or a chain shot. You might, in fact, go straight for the bone.
So I said this years ago. I said it'd be cool if you had like players that you could have like skeletons. Then they added the skeleton ships, and I was like, oh, cool. They added that so that down the road they could add something else, and now they have. This is interesting. So now you throw a bomb on the ground, 3 skeletons pop up, and they help you like fight things, so you don't have to worry about. So you can dig up your treasure still or whatnot. That's interesting.
Caller, so you can have some skellies that are on your side on that ship, sort of messing things up for that crew.
You could use fire to fight fire.
That's cool. So now you can do the shots, throw your bomb over there, then they'll spawn some skeletons on the ship. So now they have to fight the skeletons, which then the boat will be filling up with water. This can get pretty hectic now.
So if somebody shoots a bone caller across the sea at your ship and they spawn in, if you have your own bone caller, you could throw that down on the deck and have your own skellies go and fight those to take them out for you so that you don't have to.
I wonder what the limit is. If I have a one of those things and each one of our crew has it, and you throw them all down and, you know, there's 12 of them on the ship, that'd be pretty interesting.
I mostly play
It'd be pretty OP.
solo, and to be able to spawn literally anything that is friendly to my cause while I'm playing is a massive positive. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, and I'm sure that other players will find ways to make use of it as well.
The Windcaller is a new horn-shaped shell that players can blow into to summon the power of the winds. So
Bro, what? That's OP as hell.
imagine the scenario that you're heading fully into the wind and you're either chasing someone or you're trying to get away from someone. Now you can use this tool to blow wind into your sails and go even beyond full billow in speed.
Players can also use it to kind of knock players back off their ship or on land, so they can kind of target a player, blow into the wind collar, and it will throw them back in.
This looks OP as hell. You can make your ship move faster. You can knock people off.
Yeah.
You can use it as a means of propulsion for yourself in the water, but also for rowing boats. So you can either...
So now you can... Oh, dude, this would make it so easy to... This would make it so easy to get to someone's boat now. So easy. You just jump in the water, toot your horn, and you're like a speedboat in that water now to get to that person's ship.
Use it while you're in the water swimming, and you'll blast along like a really fast water boatman. Or you can stand on a rowing boat and blast it out the back like a speedboat, basically.
This changes the entire dynamic of the game, right? This changes the whole dynamic of the game, because now here's the play. Are you ready? You store your stuff on your boat, on your rowboat. Then when you're being chased, you go around an island, you drop it off, okay? You keep sailing off, and then you use this thing to speedboat around so no one can get you. But then again, if the other team has it, they can catch up faster. Oh man, this should be very entertaining to watch.
Basically,
You can put out fires and you can do it quickly. So you can just essentially walk around your
blow out the
entire ship
fires?
is caught on fire and just put out all the fires as you walk
So basically, you're Superman. You're Superman. You can blow out fires now.
around.
And they can even use it to like stop their fall damage. Like say you're falling a great distance and you use the wind caller below you, like cushion your fall so you like land safely as well. There is like a finite charge for how long the wind caller can last for, so you have to use it wisely.
Okay. So it has a limited use. It has a limited use. Okay. Because if there was no limited use, and once you find those things, oh my god, that's super OP.
So Season 12 also introduces zip lines onto several of the islands around Sea of Thieves. So you may have seen
Well, did they have zip lines in? We just saw zip lines when we were playing the Monkey Island story.
these as they debuted in the Monkey Island Tall Tales, and they're a really fun and exhilarating way to traverse. So it's really cool to be able to bring those to the wider Sea of Thieves world.
So we've been looking across all the islands of the Sea of Thieves and looking at the most ideal places to kind of mix up the traversal opportunities.
Oh, so they added them to other islands now. Okay,
within all of the islands to add these zip lines across them. So we've added zip lines to like the outpost to get down to your ship quickly. We've added them to the skeleton forts that allow you to kind of zip line between two positions.
So instead of, I would work my way up to the outpost to the top, and then I would launch myself off with the sword, and then you would harpoon yourself basically, or propel yourself into the water. But now they have this. This is fun.
To kind of escape the skeletons or get close to them when they first spawn, or just general kind of zip lines across the islands for like fast traversal and moving chests around the islands quickly.
For example, on Ancient Spire Outpost now, you've got to clunk down some cliffs in order to get to your ship. Now you'll be able to just go and get on the zip line and go flying all the way down to...
I like how they're evolving the islands. I do. I said this way, way long ago. I was like, man, can you imagine them building things on? And they've done that, right? Some of the outposts are now complete cities. It's part of the story, the lore. It's cool.
The jetty next to your ship.
So alongside adding completely brand new tools to the Sea of Thieves sandbox, there's also the opportunity for us to go back and add completely brand new functionality to existing tools.
So another cool new feature that we're adding for Season 12 is the ability to balance on harpoon lines. So you can shoot that harpoon line at another ship or another island.
Oh my God. This is going to be a Twitch/streamer's haven of the stuff and the amount of mischief that you can get into with this game.
And then jump onto it and then like balance across. Depending on the angle in which you fire the harpoon, it'll either be like too steep to climb up it, but if you're on the other end, you can actually jump on the harpoon.
Think about this right now. Me just looking at this, right? Now you harpoon something, your buddy's got loot. Instead of you just harpoon and then you can just slide down real fast and get up, and this is interesting. This is very cool that they're doing this stuff.
Slide down it really quickly back to your ship.
We're really confident this will lead to some really inventive player boarding tactics out there in the sandbox, as well as giving you new ways to traverse the islands.
With all this that we're adding in Season 12, it gives players more opportunities to create those stories as we're really enriching the sandbox of every session.
So we're always really excited to add new tools and mechanics to Sea of Thieves, but we're always mindful that we want to make sure that the game's health is in a really good position as well, that the integrity of Sea of Thieves is there for our players. And since we're adding new weapons into Sea of Thieves, we're very mindful that we want to ensure that the hit registration in our game is as rock solid as it can be. And this is an ongoing thing for us as a development team. We're constantly putting time and effort into this area to try and make it as robust as possible.
In the past, we've borrowed time from feature teams to address issues in the core experience, but it's always taken a back
Dude, that had to hurt. The tattoo on his head, that had to hurt.
seat to the features that those teams are working
That's all over his head. That's
on.
pretty wicked.
In 2024, this is changing. We're securing a dedicated team to focus on the health of the game, bringing fixes and improvements to the things that matter most to our players as soon as they're ready as part of our regular monthly updates. This is going to be a key focus for the team this year.
It's always been an ongoing game, though, Mo. Sea of Thieves has always been an ongoing game.
We want your Sea of Thieves experience to be the best that it can be. Adding new loadout choices as part of upcoming seasons shows our commitment to making encounters between players a more dynamic and fun experience. But crucially, this all has to operate on a stable combat system. We know that there's still plenty of work to do here, but this remains a top priority for our team. March's update delivered Easy Anti-Cheat, an industry-leading anti-cheat solution designed by Epic. This solution evolves over time, keeping up with cheat developers, blocking them at every turn. This is really, though, just the first step at improving the player experience here in Sea of Thieves.
We want to focus this year on making Sea of Thieves play better than ever before, whether that be improving the performance of the game across the variety of hardware it runs on, ensuring that it's a safe place to play with a focus on cheating, but also ensuring that our hit registration is as reliable as possible.
Thanks for funding the new team, PlayStation players. Let's go on, Jones.
In all of your adventures out there in the sandbox.
That's all stuff that's coming in Season 12. What season are we in now? Season 11? Or are we in Season 12?
So Captain Flameheart has been a staple and important character of Sea of Thieves for many years, appearing in our novels and appearing in our many tall tales and expanded fiction. With Season 13, this brings the return of Captain Flameheart to the Sea of Thieves.
As Flameheart has been resurrected, so has his Burning Blade ship, and it's back in more
Yo, I didn't know that was in the game. I never completed the story. That's in the game?
monstrous and terrifying form than ever before. So we've reimagined it for Season 13, and it looks incredible. It almost looks like a living entity itself.
So traditionally, world events have been at set locations throughout the world. The Burning Blade is a little different. The Burning Blade is a ship, and therefore moves around the world.
But the twist is, when...
Wait a minute. It's a world event that moves around the world, so it's random where it is. That's pretty cool.
You've defeated the ship. You have the option.
Okay, hold on a second.
Around the world.
But the twist is, when you've defeated the ship, you have the option to board it and pledge yourself and your crew to Flameheart, enter into his service, and become the crew of the Burning Blade.
Wait a minute. There's a raid type event, like the forts that we used to do, or the whatever. And then you get to fight this thing, and if you beat the boat, then you have an option to become part of the crew or deny it. But if you pledge, then you're on the ship.
Essentially becoming a player-created world event yourselves.
Oh, that's awesome. You become the world event. That's dope, dude.
So obviously we have to go in big with this one. At a base, it is larger and more formidable than any ship we've seen on the waves.
This ship has 10 cannons. It has a statue room dedicated to Flameheart at the back. It has a balcony where Flameheart...
I can already see people. Oh my god. We used to do this when the game first came out, right? With the galleon, we would get other crews to come on, and we'd have like 8 to 10 people on the galleon. If you could get other people to join you on this massive ship, and you could just... It's got 10 cannons on there. No one's beating you.
likes to take in the view every morning with his coffee. And most importantly, it's got a massive flamethrower at the front.
Players will be able to pull a lever on their ship and fire 2 massive balls of fire out the front of their ship, which is really interesting because we've never...
That's pretty OP, because if you get behind a ship, you could just, oh my god, you could destroy them.
We actually had an offensive weapon that's frontal facing before, so I think this is going to create some really interesting dynamic naval combat situations.
So once you take over the Burning Blade, you are on this really powerful warship, and you have a skeleton crew helping you as well. So even smaller crews have every chance of crewing the Burning Blade because the skeletons will come to your aid.
So you could have skeletons repairing while you're on the cannons firing at enemies, which is excellent.
There you go. They've done it. They've taken the skeletons where they can repair the boat. So you as a single player, potentially down the line, they could add it in where you could hire a crew to maintain your boat if you're a solo player, so you don't have to worry about fixing your boat while you're being attacked. I'm not saying they're doing it right now. They're doing it for this particular boat. But I can see them implementing it down the road.
But it's not just about sailing around the world, which of course you can do. It's about completing orders in service of Captain Flameheart. So around the world, there'll be numerous skeleton camps.
You'll notice the Reapers have been conducting excavations on the surface, and they've been dragging up all sorts of ancient artifacts and ancient secrets from below the surface.
Okay.
Underground, there's basically a chamber with a prism that the
They've added undergrounds to the forts?
Players can control to draw out constellations on the ceiling in order to help the ritual come to completion and get that knowledge of the ancients.
Each of these temples contains the secrets of the ancients, secrets that Flameheart wants above anything else. And as part of taking control of the ship, you'll be able to sail around the world, visit these ancient temples deep below these skeleton camps, engaging new puzzle gameplay, discover treasures, but what you're really after is the Orb of Secrets.
So they've added another layer of endgame activity for people that are at that point. Something new to go after, and for people, because there's really no end game, right? There's multiple things to do in end game. The upside down triangle.
New treasure artifact that Flameheart wants. Collecting these secrets will add tribute to the Burning Blade ship.
The more tribute that you collect, the more value will be aboard the Burning Blade. But you will lose the Burning Blade if it sinks, or when you choose to go and cash that tribute into Flame.
So it's a risk reward. That's a cool mechanic too. So not only is it a task to get the boat, but then it's a task to keep the boat. And then you can push that envelope and keep staying on the boat to get all the stuff that you want to get for this new particular reward. And then once you decide you want to turn it in, or you decide, well, you don't decide, but you get sunk, someone else takes it over. That's very interesting. Now, I wonder if the loot that you have, because you're pushing your luck, if you get sunk, someone else takes it over. Does it reset? Like, how does that work? Or do they take control of the boat at that point? And do they get your loot? Interesting.
So it's really up to you how long you think you can hold on to it with that risk reward, because everybody in the world is going to be coming for you. They're going to know you're in there and know you've got high value. So it really becomes this dynamic player created world event with players versus players in the sandbox.
So even though you can visit these skeleton camps while in control of the Burning Blade, it's not only tightly wedded to that new gameplay. Players can also visit them anytime in their adventures. So should players visit these skeleton camps when they're not the crew of the Burning Blade, the skeletons won't be too happy that you found a way inside these.
This is even better. So now if you have the Burning Blade, you go to those islands, you just walk in because you have the Burning Blade. You have the key, basically. So you can go to these things, and you're not being there's no friction against you. You can just walk in, do the thing. But if you're not part of the Burning Blade, you can go to these islands, and then you have to fight your way to the bottom of the. Interesting.
Camps, and you'll be engaging in a combat-focused encounter to discover its secrets.
What's really exciting about Season 13 is the interplay of the features and the way that they'll bring players together and combine to create new stories. And whether you're the crew of the Burning Blade who wants to protect it,
how big that boat is,
or everyone else who wants to take it down and steal that value, everything in Season 13 will bring you together.
That seems pretty cool, Season 13. I probably will never, ever play that. I would have to get in with a group that like knows what they're doing just so I could see that type of stuff.
So towards the end of the year, we have Season 14, and while it's very early for us to talk about, we wanted to share some of our thinking here because it is totally aligned with this vision for what 2024 can be, this laser focus on the sandbox and mechanics that add to the variety of stories you can encounter in Sea of Thieves.
Internally, we're referring to Season 14 as Pirates of Mischief. Sea of Thieves has always had this playful, mischievous...
Wait a minute. So the stuff that we've already saw about the you know, with the horn and the grapple hooks, and that wasn't mischief type stuff?
And funny sense of humour. And with Season 14, we're expanding on that. The two main areas that we're exploring are new ways to stealth and new ways to cause mischief in the world.
So I think a real aspect of the Sea of Thieves experience that we haven't dived too deep into previously is the idea of being a stealthy pirate.
So when you think about stealth in Sea of Thieves and enhancing that, imagine being able to crouch and move around the world silently, or the ability to hang off the side of an enemy's ship.
Oh my God, there's going to be... The Twitch channels and stuff are going to explode for these content creators. It's like the best thing ever for them.
When we were having these initial conversations about Season 14, the first thing I thought of was the cardboard boxes in Metal Gear Solid. Could we allow players to climb into chests, and if they choose, they can actually scuttle around with their little legs out the bottom? And also, if they choose to, you know, keep the ruse up, could other players come along and pick them up like a normal loot chest or treasure chest or whatever and take it onto their ship?
Do you know how everyone's going to be so paranoid at Season 14 because you see a chest? Like, okay, this is how my brain works. Okay, your crew has a chest. Okay, you get in that chest. They decide to bury you. I don't know if you can do this. That's the way my brain works, right? So you get in a chest, they bury you, right? Someone comes along and picks up that chest, and then they they put you on the boat. Or while a boat is on island, you sneak into a chest. Like, you bring a chest, you drop it on board, you get in the chest, and then you play the long game, right? Now you just play the long game. Right, you become a mimic.
So another cool thing that we've been working on is the blow dart, which is another new weapon that players can wield from the armory and use that to kind of sneak aboard enemy ships and fire kind of these custom darts into players.
I'm sorry, did he say a blow dart? Did he say blow dart?
New weapon that players can wield from the armory and use that to kind of sneak aboard enemy ships and fire kind of these custom darts into players that will do different effects.
So imagine a blow dart that tracks whatever it sticks to, whether that's a ship, a chest, an item, a player.
What? So you could get a blow dart for a tracking now, so you know where they are? Dude. So now you could just be a ship. You could be on an island, a boat comes up, you shoot a blow dart at them, okay? You put it somewhere on the ship where they can't reach it, and then it goes out, and then you can track them. So then you know where they are on the map.
Player.
Ones that could potentially like lure skeletons to like a specific position, so you can throw a firebomb in there, or explode a gunpowder keg, or darts that can trigger specific sound effects, which is quite evil and cunning, where you could board an enemy ship and shoot the capstan and it sounds like it's dropping. Or
that's cool what he just said. So you mess with people, right? You mess with people. You can shoot a blow dart that sounds like the capstan is going down, and they freak out. Man.
Shoot the ladders and it sounds like someone's climbing up them.
And then thinking about some of the ways that we want to add more mischief to the world, one of these is the idea of traps.
So much like
I can just see a content creator now sneaking and like hiding, shooting blow darts to make the sound of a person just on the boat by themselves. Oh yeah, this is content gold for these content creators out there.
Like the kind of blunderbombs or firebombs, we've been thinking about them being this kind of throwable trap that players can kind of throw into the world.
Right, Dolphin? Right? You shoot a dart on the chest, right? So you know where it is?
Think of it like a spring trap that players can place on the islands to trap skeletons on a bounty or on a fort, or they could place...
I'm sorry, what did he just say? A trap?
Ways that we want to add more mischief to the world, one of these is the idea of traps.
So much like the kind of blunderbombs or firebombs, we've been thinking about them being this kind of throwable trap that players can kind of throw into the world. Think of it like a spring trap that players can place on the islands to trap skeletons on a bounty or on a fort, or they could place it at the top of their ladders to prevent players from boarding their ships and get caught in this trap.
Along with the
bro, yeah, because you're making the problem. Now you gotta sell, not sell the solution, but you gotta make a solution, right? So if people can get on your ship because they're being mischievous and sneaky, now you got to make these traps on your boat. So I wonder if you could trap yourself, though.
These were also bringing a really exciting new tool, and it's the grapple gun, which...
Grapple gun? This is OP. I can tell you right now this is OP. The grapple right now, if I shoot it, it pulls me in. So that means I can grab treasure from people that are running with treasure. That means I can get on people's boats much easier now.
Which is a dual-purpose rifle. So it allows you to traverse.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the monetization that it comes in, because the Emporium and stuff. They've added knives. They've added the new weapon, right? They've added the grapple hook. They've added, what else? These are all things that you can add skins to, right? So there's a lot more things that you can use to buy from the Pirate Emporium.
The environment much quicker because you're able to grapple yourself up to a lead.
Yeah, they just had the pistol and the blunderbuss. That's all they had. We've had 3 weapons the entire time in 6-7 years. We had the sword, the pistol, and the blunderbuss,
for example. But you can also harpoon items and other players in.
So some of the new cool uses we've seen from the grapple gun in our early playtests are, players firing themselves out of the cannon towards another ship to try and board them, and perhaps overcooking it and then using the grapple gun to fire it at.
That's my point right there. This is OP. That's OP, because you can shoot yourself over, and this happens all the time. You overshoot something, or even if you fall in the water, you can just boom and shoot it and then get on board.
The deck and propel themselves down onto it, or jumping off their ship to like an oncoming ship and then using the grapple gun to kind of
there you go,
grapple up and onto their ship so that they can board them and drop.
This is huge. This is huge.
Their anchor or have a fight with them.
To make sure that the grapple gun is balanced, it does have ammunition. You'll have arrowheads, and these essentially break.
I would assume that the arrowheads you can just at a chest and just, fill up your ammo.
Off when you successfully use the grapple gun, meaning you can't continuously keep grappling. There is a skill.
So you can only grapple a couple times
successfully
before you have to reload
and accurately and efficiently.
So when we think about 2024, we really think
That's
about
huge.
getting to the very heart of what makes Sea of Thieves great. That is your stories, powered by that design philosophy of tools, not rules. Season 12, 13 and 14 are fully exploring that, giving you new options, new tools, and fundamentally new possibilities that make this game unique and special.
I think when you look at the year ahead for Sea of Thieves, our plans for Season 12, Season 13 and Season 14, it's kind of making this shift away from these big kind of systemic changes to Sea of Thieves and returning back to the core of what makes Sea of Thieves so special, the heart of Sea of Thieves, about giving players new tools to create new stories out there in the world.
We're ultimately shaking up the meta, giving players new tools to learn and master. And I can't wait to see what combinations players start settling on before we shake it back up again.
While everything that you're seeing today is still work in progress and possibly subject to change in some ways, we will be giving more insights onto how these things are developing as we come closer to launch for each of them.
With the richness of all these new seasons, and of course, PlayStation Pirates joining us as well, it is such an exciting year for Sea of Thieves in 2024.
That's a lot of stuff, man.
Thank you for joining us for the Sea of Thieves 2024 preview event. We hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek at what's coming throughout the rest of the year. There's still a lot more to reveal for these seasons, so keep an eye on the horizon as we'll have more to share closer to each season's launch. For more information...
Right, so that's not even including the stuff that they're bringing in, if it's like story content or type of stuff like that. They're just showing you what they're bringing to the game as far as fundamental stuff goes.
And to keep up to date with what's new in Sea of Thieves, check out our social channels. So until our paths cross again, happy sailing, and we'll see you on the seas.
That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff that they added there. The new flint, I don't know what you call it, the double barrel pistol or like shotgun, whatever it is, where you can do one shot, two shots, or hold it and make both at the same time. That's a cool thing, right? That's cool. Then they have the harpoon gun, which is interesting. That's going to be a whole dynamic type of stuff. That ship though, Flameheart's ship, that's pretty cool. Where it's a world event going around, and if you take it over, then you can become the world event, and then you're going around the board as the boss, as the battle. That's pretty cool. And if you can get a really cool crew on there, man, that's gonna be interesting. I think you're gonna see a lot of stuff blow up on the social media and also on like Twitch and YouTube for a lot of videos. And then on top of that, you got all the PlayStation players coming in. It looks like a good year. Good year for Rare with Sea of Thieves. It doesn't even the playing field at all, because a lot of the new people that are coming in are still not going to understand how to like sail and whatnot. But the people that come in, there's new weapons. So the people that have been playing the game are going to be using the new weapons and getting used to it, while the new players are just getting used to it, right? So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, Argus, it's 38 minutes. I mean, we started right when the stream started. There's a lot there. There's a shit ton of stuff that's coming to Sea of Thieves. Ron says, PlayStation 5 Game of the Year, Sea of Thieves? Maybe. The grapple looks OP. The horn. You know those times, we always have them. You're on the ship, the wind's going directly into you, and you're like, oh my god, it takes forever. That horn, now, you can just toot it, and boom, you're flying through. But I wonder if there's a meter that you have, or the amount of uses that you have, sort of like the bullets in your gun. It'll be interesting to see what they do for the horn. I'm really interested in how the smaller cannonballs, where they make more holes. Because if you have good aim, you get up right next to them, you go boom, boom, and you shoot them a couple times, they're going to have 3, 6, 9. They're going to have a lot of holes in them based on what ship you're on. Okay? So you're going to eat through that wood that people are trying to heal themselves. Now, I thought it was interesting when they said that the skeletons help you on that ship. I wonder if you throw a ship, if you throw something down on your ship, if they help you repair as well. They didn't say it did. They just said they help you fight, which is pretty interesting. But solo players down the road, if they're going to implement this, I think solo players, this would be a huge help for solo players. But then they have to balance it, right? Because if I can be on a crew with one person, right, just solo, and I use that where I summon the skeletons and they can like repair stuff for me, it'd be really hard to sink a ship. Really hard to sink a ship. I wonder if they would implement something where you hire a crew and they would have really weak health or something. I don't know what they would do. But you can see that they're starting to play with it a little bit. So that's Sea of Thieves. Lots of stuff for Sea of Thieves. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff for it. Oh, at the very end, they showed an owl as well. So there's like a new animal that you can get. You know, more cosmetic stuff. There's what the owl looks like. So there's more cosmetics, owl-themed. And then there's the... different type of skeleton bombs, offensive or repair, etc. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, Titan, that it would be really hard, right? Like right now, it's... if you have a good crew, it's really hard to sink them because they constantly are repairing, right? You can see they're starting to implement certain things to make more holes to go through the wood faster and whatnot. There'll be a certain point, if you're in a battle long enough, you're going to run out of materials, okay? But now, if you're a solo player and let's say you could repair, it'd be interesting because then solo players might have a chance to go up against a crew, right? Still, the skeletons are going to be real easy to kill. We do it all the time. You get on, you hit them 3 times and they die. So if a guy knows what he's doing, jumps on your ship as a solo player, you have skeletons on your crew helping you, he's going to kill them real fast. But you might have a better shot of holding them off. But then again, they could just throw a skeleton on your ship as well. So then they take care of the skeletons and then he kills you and then takes your stuff. And you're gonna go sink a lot faster if you're solo. I'll just tell you that. With a skilled crew, you're going to go down even faster. The Mischief one, when they start to sneak and get on the board, like Gathalion, he used to do this. He used to sneak on people's ships and mess with them. I forget who else used to do it. He's going to have a blast with this update, with that stuff. Good stuff, though. That game's successful. I know people think it's not, but it's very successful. They're like, oh, the player base is dying. They're doing just fine. And yes, they're trying to get more people because they want to make more money. And I think they're doing it. I think they're doing it smart. As well, do you think the tracker is a bit too much? Like tracking a chest or ship through the map. I wonder if there's a timer. Yeah, I wonder if there's a timer. I can't imagine it's like once you hit them, they know. There's got to be like a time in. Maybe like a 5-minute timer, 10-minute timer, or something like that. I don't know. See, these just these giant bugs, and well, they have the crab guys that come in. Ship extraction. Summit used to do that too. Yeah. That's it. Summit. I forgot about him. All right, the next one I want to talk about. This is a 12-minute video. This is the Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. I don't know why they call it Marvel 1943. It's made by Marvel, right? It's 1943 Rise of Hydra is what the actual title is. So let's go watch this now. I watched this yesterday. I watched this afterwards. The stream. This is insane. Okay, this is insane. The amount of detail that they have in this video game. Now, I'll talk about the video game at the end, like once we see it. But the tech itself, holy Christ, man! This looks so. As a tech guy myself, as being in the industry and watching the guy on stage with the camera, using that camera to go through the world, is just really cool. So let's check this out.
It's my pleasure to introduce one of the greatest storytellers in video games, my good friend, Amy Hennig. Amy, come on up. Finally doing it. See you here.
Thank you, Kim. And look, we are so excited to finally show what we've been working on at Skydance New Media. And I just got to say, I am so proud of what the team has accomplished. My God.
It's incredible.
Right.
Amy, I'm sure the audience is wanting to know more about your game and the team. Can you tell us about it?
Sure. Well, as the trailer hopefully illustrates, we are creating a story-driven World War II era Marvel action-adventure game with an ensemble of playable heroes. But
she feels like a person to me that just doesn't give a shit, right? She's just doing stuff. People like gap to her, and she's just like, yeah, whatever.
Here's what's important to note. People might not think this. This isn't some custom demo that we made just for this show. That's our game.
That is your
right?
game.
All the sequences you just saw in that trailer are all pulled right out of our game.
Oh, you know what? Before we watch this, we should watch the trailer first, right? We should watch the trailer first. Let's watch the trailer because let's watch the trailer first.
They're combing the streets, searching house to house.
If they arrest you two, they will take you to their headquarters, and you will not return.
I'm more concerned with the 6-foot cat man who's got claws that can cut through vibranium alloy. By my count, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris.
3, counting you.
And that's 2 too many.
I'll be there before the sun rises. Before the Germans, before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Please, just stick to the rooftops. Be careful. Stand beside me.
When am I not?
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem. Our cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of things, he's not very far ahead.
The American boy is right on your heels.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way!
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone!
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
Graphic-wise, it looks intense. Yeah, coming in 2025. Can we just imagine for a second? Can we imagine this? These graphics? But for Suicide Squad. Or for Marvel's Avengers, right? Playing with these characters. Can you imagine? Okay, let me get the other thing now. Now that we have the context, you saw the trailer. Now you understand what she's saying. So let's talk about that. All right.
In real time and Unreal Engine 5, no smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
So that's the game. That's the trailer, but they're showing you now in this tech demo the game. This is not a cut section to show you at the game. This is the game and the technology they're using with the Unreal Engine, and just watch what they do here.
I'd expect nothing less from your team. It's absolutely incredible. As with many of your past projects, you're really bridging the gap between films and games. But this is a whole new level. What's different nowadays compared to the old days?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, you and I have known each other for what, over a decade now?
Over a decade, yeah.
Right. And we immediately hit it off, and I think it's because we've been chasing the same dream, right?
True. Yes.
Which is to create richly interactive experiences.
That key word right there. And I know we're looking at these graphics, but She says richly interactive experience. Okay? And I get it. As a gamer, okay, I'm looking at this going, this looks fucking amazing. But again, we know nothing about the game yet. Okay? We know nothing about the game. Is it a game as a game, or is it a movie? Now, there's an interview with her years ago talking about how they need a broader audience, right? And that's why she makes the games that she makes, because the average person that plays a game, less than 50%, less than 30%, less than 10% of people actually buy games and finish those games. This is from her mouth, not here, but in a past interview, okay? So talking about that and then saying that she's making an interactive experience, okay? So let me rewind again.
The same dream, right? True, yes. Which is to create richly interactive experiences that are cinematic, immersive, and make you feel like you're in a movie, but with all the player agency that you expect from a really great game, right? Absolutely. And in the past, this has always felt like it was just beyond our grasp. But I think we're finally crossing that threshold.
Yeah,
she reminds me of like George Lucas talking about movies back in the day, which she's talking about in video games now, right? And movies and video games are now making that cross. Like, you look at that, I would take that trailer that we just saw as a movie than what Marvel's putting out as a movie itself. You see what I'm saying? Like, I would take a whole cinematic universe of what she's putting on this screen right now than what Disney's doing with their live action / CGI type of stuff. I will take all of this over that.
Trying our best.
Yes, we're trying our best, yeah. And look, when we're telling a character-driven story, it's critical for us to be able to really faithfully capture and honor every nuance of our actors' stellar performances. So we've been incredibly grateful to be able to partner closely with our friends on the MetaHuman team to tell our story.
Tell us a little bit about the visuals in the game.
Well, again, thanks to Epic and the Unreal Engine development team, we've been able to leverage some of the new Nanite and Lumen features being released in the 5.4. And honestly, this is really helping our team to achieve a level of visual fidelity that enables us to present this authentically grounded Marvel universe.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go a little bit deeper and see some of these features that the team has used by firing up a level in the game. So,
firing up a level in the game.
Sounds good. Okay. First, I'd like to introduce two of my colleagues, Colin Hennon, our cinematic animation director.
Yay!
And Roman Adiola, our director of photography.
The dude is using a camera in the game right now. I don't know if you guys understand this, right? He's wired in to the game. He's doing what James Cameron did back in the day with Avatar, where he was like flying around inside the game. That's what he's doing right now.
So Colin will be live and editor, and Roman will be on the virtual camera, just like he is at all of our performance capture shoots. So, if you all are ready, let's switch the feed and go back to that bridge environment. And let's see, yep, you're live, good.
Like, okay, let me just put this in perspective. He's the director of photography. They're the game developers. They've created the entire game. The game's going to do what the game does, okay? And they can pause and whatever. And then he can take the camera and decide what picture, where to do the composition of the things that you just watched in the trailer.
Okay. So, Colin, let's boom down and take a closer look at this environment. So, to create a really immersive game experience, the characters and environments have to work together harmoniously. We can't just drop believable characters into a less than convincing world. So we need to start with authentic and densely detailed environments as the setting to our story. And look, because part of our story is set in 1940s occupied Paris, we needed the world to have a really believable and visceral level of detail and grit.
I would love to do this. I would absolutely drop everything to go do this in video games.
As you can see here. So, Roman, why don't we focus on the ground here for a bit? Now look at that. That's an amazing amount of detail. It would have been
like, he is the camera in the world. The world is just living, and he's flying through just like you would with your mouse or whatnot. But he's doing it live.
been nearly impossible to get something this complex to run in real time without the new features in 5.4. So, Kim, let's talk about some of the levels of detail that we're seeing here.
Sure. So, we're talking about Nanite's new adaptive tessellation feature. So, whilst Nanite lets you create environments like you're seeing here of incredible detail, the memory requirements can become impractical to realize for such a level of complexity across a huge level, without the need for lots of instancing. And we thought that was a challenge, and we wanted to deal with it.
So, Colin, let's actually strip this scene right down to the dirt so folks can see what we're talking about.
So, see how simple this.
Remember now, this is their game. This is not a piece just for this. They're literally manipulating the game live with the Unreal Engine 5.4.
This is relatively simple ground plane. Actually, let's show the triangle so you can actually see what's there. Just a few hundred triangles. Let's pop it back to the beauty render view. But with this new dynamic tessellation capability, we can actually displace that simple geometry and create new three-dimensional geometry of the quality that you're used to with Nanite. With nothing more than layering tile textures and using shader logic, you can make incredibly complex effects. So instead of me trying to explain it, let's get Colin to show the magic, and let's see a transformation of this space. This technique allows you to see an unprecedented level of geometric detail.
Look at this.
But it's also memory efficient and can be changed dynamically in the runtime of your game. So things like footprints or tire tracks or even supernatural effects, if you would want them, can be visualized. And just to show how this simple geometry has now been transformed, let's have a look at the triangle view again. There you go. What you expect from Nanite. So it's a really, really smart, interesting technique to actually get details into the games without crazy, crazy amounts of geometry.
Let's switch it back to the detail view. Thank you. And of course, as you can imagine, this technology isn't just useful for...
Look, look, this is not about, like, the gameplay. Look at the lighting that's happening right now. Look at the lights that are happening right now, and then look at the reflection down here. That's the truck lighting. This light coming over here, the shadows that are going on. Like, it's insane. Now, obviously, are you going to get this look on your Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 when the game comes out? I don't know. I'm more impressed with the technology of what they're doing for video games now, okay, and what Epic is doing. There's no difference of what you're looking at right here and watching The Mandalorian. You see what I'm saying? It's the same technology that they're using in the background and what they're doing.
For the ground and for the ground terrain, it applies to every detail in the environment. So let's fly over to that pile of objects on the left over there, for example. And Colin, while we do, can you kill those headlights for me?
Cool.
Thank you. Okay, so imagine our challenge. We're trying to authentically recreate a harsh winter in occupied Paris. That means every prop, every object, every detail, every rooftop needs to be realistically blanketed in snow. So now let's show how we can dial up the snow accumulation on these objects.
Look at that.
Right? And of course, we can dial it back as desired.
It's making me feel chilly, actually.
Yeah, actually, it's a little cold up here.
Or maybe she's nervous.
And remember, of course, like Kim said, thanks to this technology, this is all actual geometry. So you can see how tools like these would really empower even a small team to art direct and set dress their environments dynamically. It enables our artists to create a series of layers in the environment and then build up the complexity, layer by layer by layer. Now, speaking of set dressing, let's go check out that fire barrel over by the watchtower we saw earlier. Yeah, that's the one there. And let's turn on a light to really illuminate the smoke coming out of the barrel. Thank you. Look at that. That's amazing.
Did you see that? Look at the smoke, right? Look at the smoke, and then as soon as that light turns on, the amount of the difference. You guys are probably not getting the same. I'm seeing it in a better quality than you guys are seeing it. Come on. So cool.
Thank you. Look at that. That's amazing. We could have never achieved effects this realistic in the past.
So this is what we call heterogeneous volumes. In the past, effects like these would be done with particle sprites. But that's kind of a cheat that often breaks down and can...
See, that's where we differ, Altern. I'm more impressed with the technology of what it is, and I'm okay if it comes out at 30 frames. I'm okay if it comes out at 60 frames. What I'm saying is I'm more infatuated with what they're doing with the technology than what the final product is. The final product will probably be a little bit downgraded or a lot downgraded. Like look at Watch Dogs. Look at Salty brought it up the other day or yesterday. 1868, 1886, whatever the hell that game was called. Okay, that showed like 12 years ago, and those graphics look phenomenal. And then you saw the end product. It feels the same way, and that was over a decade ago, right? It's more about what they can do with the technology.
And look flat. It's nice from afar, but far from nice, as we say back in the UK. So if we look at the glow...
Yeah, that's it. 1866.
Of the fire...
The 1866? I thought it was 1886.
As it dynamically illuminates the volumetric smoke, you can see that light transmitting through the volume. You can also see that the smoke itself is casting shadows onto the world, but also itself. These volumetrics can also mix...
Yeah. The smoke is literally making the shadow over there. Like, it's crazy.
More traditional effects as well. So if you do want to put particles in there, fog, or even cards, you can do it. It all works in a unified way. You can run the simulation, the smoke simulation, in Unreal Engine natively if you want, or you can import OpenVDB datasets as sparse volume textures, resulting in film quality visual effects, volumetric visual effects, all running in real time that are totally responsive to dynamic lighting.
Yeah, and it just looks incredible. Now, of course, all of this is just...
Yeah, it's 1886? Okay.
...to help us tell our story, right? And the story is nothing without great characters. So let's head back over to the bridge and catch up with Cap. Now, an essential part of any character's persona, particularly a Marvel hero, is their look. And it can be really
Right, keep that in mind, Rose, because I'm going to talk about that in a little bit later.
distracting if the outfit doesn't look as realistic and believable as the rest of the world. As you can see, Cap's leather uniform fits just like you would expect in real life, with all the correct material properties and the complexity of creases forming as he moves.
From a technical perspective, this is where we can effectively utilize machine learning. We can set up and run complex simulations in a package like Houdini and import that data into UE. We then use this to train an ML model, producing film quality deformations.
Look at the quality on him.
That run in real time.
But none of this matters without great facial performances. So let's bring Azuri, T'Challa's grandfather and our Black Panther, into this scene, this time with his mask off.
But I know who you are, Captain. America's hero, dancing around in red, white, and blue underwear.
Completely different scene. Now you know why the actors want the mask off and not on.
That shield that you hide behind does not belong to you. You are unworthy of it.
Graphics are just a little bit better than Starfield, right?
All right, and as he pauses here, Roman, why don't you go in really close and really show everybody the detail that we have in these models.
Look at that, dude. That to me, that looks real. That's crazy.
It's insane, right? Like, amazing. It's essential for us to retain every nuance of the outstanding performance that our actor, Kari Payton, brought to Azuri's character.
She's like, that's insane. And she's the one making it.
What you just saw there were untouched metahuman animator solves.
Mm-hmm.
So working with the metahuman process, we've been able to honor our amazing actors' performances and faithfully transform them into equally powerful digital performances. Now, of course, it all starts with the actor's talent, and we're fortunate to have two of our cast with us in the audience today. So I'd like to introduce Drew Moorline, who plays Captain America.
Yay!
Okay, now I want you to think about this for a second, right? You saw what Captain America looked like in the video. You saw what Black Panther looked like. Here's the actors that played them. They're spot on. Now look at some of the characters that you saw from like the Spider-Man games and stuff, where they take the actors and stuff that they're using and completely and utterly change them. It's like a 1-to-1 ratio here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is awkward. All right, let's shake. Like, no, fuck it. We're going in for the hug.
And Kari Payton, our Black Panther. See, they hug. They're friends. They're not really fighting. It's all good. And And of course, I want to take this opportunity to thank them and the rest of our wonderful cast for going on this incredibly crazy journey with us. And now, as a special treat, let's take a look at the entire bridge scene that you saw earlier. But this time, we'll keep Azuri's mask off to really showcase what we can do when all this incredible talent and all these amazing features come together. But remember, this is running entirely in real time.
Awesome.
That's far enough! I'm here on the business of the United States government.
Yours is not the only business here. Stay out of my way.
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone. Turn around, boy. Go home.
Look, pal, I don't know who you are.
But I know who you are. Captain, America's hero. Dancing around in red, white, and blue underwear.
Says the man dressed like an overgrown house cat.
That shield that you hide behind does not belong to you. You are unworthy of it.
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
All in engine, and just to show there's no cheating going on, hey, Colin, can you show the editor and the sequence of time?
That's the game.
Timelines. Right. So it really is running on Unreal Engine.
We don't cheat. Yeah.
So, absolutely incredible. I've never seen performances in a video game that are so believable.
So here's the thing, right? And what I think is amazing is the technology of it. Now, let's talk about, Rose said it a little bit earlier, right? Of 1886, it was more of a movie game, right? And it wasn't really a game. It was very, very short. And it was just, that's what it was. I feel like that's what this is. Now, for me personally, I'm okay with that. Like, I understand there's games that people want to play as games, right? Like the actual game itself, where it's the core of the game is like hard, it's difficult, like a Dark Souls, like an Elden Ring, something that really tests your skill as a gamer. But then there's what she said in the very beginning, and she said in an interview years ago, is that they want a more broader audience to play video games. It's another medium like movies. I worked in the film industry. I love films. I love film games as well because it's a piece of entertainment. And the difference between a movie and what a game can do in a game like this, like, I like watching the Marvel films because I'm a Captain America fan. I'm a Marvel fan. And I'm just an audience member. But if I can control the character and feel like I'm part of it, okay, and then, sure, there's game mechanics and game things that happen, but I don't think this game is going to be a game, right? It's not going to be like super combative where you know, hard difficulty levels of combo maneuvers and stuff like that. It's not going to be like a Dark Souls. It's definitely going to be more of a game. And again, in my opinion, like a game like 1886 or a game like a God of War, where yes, you're playing the game, or a Spider-Man. Spider-Man, you did fight. Yes, you fought. Okay. But it was like a cinematic movie as well. And I'm not, you know, trashing those games. That's what type of games those are. The Uncharted game is fun. You're controlling Nathan Drake as you go through and you're figuring out puzzles and do all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, you're just sitting there watching. Final Fantasy does it. It's more of a movie type game. And that's what they're trying to do. She's trying, again, very thing she said was the interactive, okay, to get more broader audience to come in and play these games. Okay, a cinematic experience, but in video game form. So when I look at this game, I'm super excited because I think this looks better than anything. The premise of the story, okay, is better than what they're doing with the actual movies and TV shows right now for Marvel. Okay, so I'm excited for this game, but I'm not excited for the game to be like an Elden Ring or you know, a Wuhong type of stuff. I'm excited for the game because I'm a Marvel fan and I like the stories and I like the movies and I really like the technology they're doing. I would buy this game just as a more of a modern Marvel of what this industry, where it could be going and what they're doing with the technology, right? You get games like The Day Before that's using the Unreal Engine and whatnot, but then if the right tool is in the right artist's hands, what they can make, that's amazing looking. It's amazing looking. this game is made by a woman, are the man children attacking her? No, no one's attacking her. Why would they attack her? These people don't exist, Prosy. These people don't exist. The people that say that there's like sexist, misogynistic, racist gamers out there because they don't like a woman doing something, those people don't exist. These are made up things that people say and do just to get reactions out of you, right? A 12-year-old tweeting on something is not 99% of the gamer population. Argus says it's pretty epic. If we get 75% of that, it'll be nice. Yeah. Not going to get hyped up for it. I wait when the actual game is finally released and see the actual gameplay. Water says, right, every game can be 40-plus hours, hard as hell. There's a such thing as a burnout with these types of games. Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a balance in what they're trying to do. Did the Captain America actor from the Disney series do the mocap? No, that guy did the mocap. Like, those people in the seats are the actors. They did the facial animations. They did all the stuff. I would take a show like that, Rose. Hell, I would take all the Disney. I would take all the Disney shows. They don't have to be live action. They could all be epic Unreal Engine shows. I'd be okay with it. I haven't seen it. Did they post them up, Eclipse? Sure, everyone exists, Jones. What I'm saying is the public thinks that 99.9% of gamers are toxic, misogynistic, but really it's the 0.1%. Sounds like something Sweet Baby says to make people look isms. What's up, all busy playing Rise of Ronin? Oh, is it out yet, Travis? You know what the crazy part is? The misogynistic, racist people that are in the industry, apparently it's not on the gaming side, right? It's on the actual developer side or the SBI side, because those are the ones that were actually doing the stuff to begin with. But hey, what do I know? All right, going from that, I think that's pretty cool, though. I think that's pretty cool for Epic. There's a bunch of stuff about Epic. They're also doing with the Fortnite. Let's go to the Fortnite thing here. Yeah, I don't like the company Epic, but I really like the technology they're making with the Unreal Engine. I've said this multiple times in the past. All right, so Fortnite players can now make and publish their own Lego games. Okay, just saying that out loud is just insane to me, right? Because of what they do in Fortnite, right? Fortnite, you can make your own islands, you can make your own games, and there's a whole library of stuff that people made, fan-made, sort of like the Halo Forge mode and stuff. But now they're putting it in. I don't know if it's out yet, but at the GDC conference, they talked about how they're implementing it into actually the Lego Fortnite. So, following the launch of Lego Fortnite, Lego Epic has launched what we call Lego Islands. Another game that will also live inside of Fortnite, but alongside Lego Fortnite, is a new way to play. Announced during the State of Unreal presentation at GDC, players can now make their own Lego Islands alongside those launched officially by Lego, including a few brand new ones today. Essentially, this allows Fortnite users to use the LEGO assets to make their own game experience within Fortnite and make money off of them in the popular enough. Given that the kid-friendly nature of LEGOs, of course, there is also some restrictions, namely the islands you make and the LEGO assets must carry age ratings, and they're also no higher than E10 from ESBR, or ESRB, sorry, or 7 from Peggy. So you can't put Lego assets into, say, a red versus blue deathmatch map or any other map that involves gunfights, but possibilities are pretty open otherwise. Fortunately, for an aspiring creator, Lego and Epic have published 3 new Lego islands that were made within the Unreal Engine Fortnite to go with the 2 of the last already had been published. Now, there's also already a few examples of finished projects in style, and these islands are Lego Propped Hunt, where players have to find one another in disguise as props, Lego Battle Arena, and a Jago-style dueling, and Lego Cat Island Adventure, where you can also to hang out and do a quest for a kitty cat. Now, on top of that, they're offering 4 island templates to help kickstart your designs so you don't have to start from scratch. Now, these Lego islands will also be eligible to earn money for their creators if they're part of the Fortnite Island Creator Program. Now, basically, if you're an island generator, a lot of engagement you can get and get paid for it. All these changes are live now, and you can get cracking on the new Lego game inside of Fortnite whenever you like it. So there you go. It's already in the game, which is pretty insane to me, right? Now, think about this, right? We talked about this on GXG a couple of weeks ago. I talked about it before it even came out in Lego. As I said, they're just going to sell Lego sets. I'm still going to stick by what I said a couple of weeks ago about they could. I'm not saying they're doing it, but I can see them buying a Lego set in real life, and then you also get that Lego set with inside of Fortnite itself. I can see something along the cross of an Infinity, of a Skylanders type of stuff with the Lego sets that you buy. Now you can actually purchase, obviously. We know you can purchase the Lego sets within the game itself, and then you can take those and put them in. So now, even if you just made an island of your Lego builds, your virtual space, you're not even making this for yourself to sell on the store. You're just buying sets, building sets within the game itself, and then you have your virtual Lego set that you can like walk around in and play in with your own stuff. That's pretty cool. I don't know about you. I mean, I'm 45 years old, and that sounds pretty cool. If I was a kid and I could get my Lego sets and I could walk inside my Lego sets and play with my Lego sets and not only just build them, because once you build them, you play with them, and yeah, you play with them in real life. But if I could get my imagination, I can get inside there and actually play with the Lego sets that I owned, that'd be pretty badass, wouldn't it? So I think this is another cool thing that Epic is doing with the technology they have with Unreal, and then also that now you can just build your own Lego stuff, right? $20 for virtual Lego set? Nope. People will do it, right? People will do it, and that's why I say if you include it with the actual Lego set, where you buy the actual Lego set and you get to get it inside the game, that would be like a nice little crossover they do. But yeah, all the stuff at the tech demos, there was other tech demos they showed at the Unreal Engine at GDC. The technology is insane. This is 5.4. This is the worst it'll be, right? As more people start using this technology, as more people start making stuff like this, it's just gonna get better and better and better, right? They announced that animations and stuff are all free for people to use, and you can start using different assets. And it's pretty crazy what they've added to it. Rise of Ronin, tedious fighting allies, NPCs every time. Fortnite is doing Roblox better than Roblox. Every time you get going to tell them something is annoying and also lack better gear, it feels like they could upgrade is a disappointment. For what game, gamer? So yeah, I think it's really cool. Even though, they're charging $20 for a house inside of Lego Fortnite, I think it's cool though that you can build your own stuff with the Legos with inside the Fortnite, and you can also make your own matches and whatnot, like Forge and everything else. So Fortnite has gotten way too sweaty for me. I don't actually play the Battle Royale stuff. And when I do play, I play the no build. That would be interesting, Eclipse. What if they what they should do is make it where they when they buy it, a code goes on the receipt, so the collectors don't have to open the box, but they can still play with it. That would be insane. That would be cool. That would be good for the consumer. And then you could pay Fortnite a percentage of it because you know that the person bought it and they use the code within inside the game, right? I played the zero build mode of Fortnite every season. Completed the battle pass. Play with my son sometimes too. Yeah, the no build is much better. I like the no build better. Are matches still majority bots? I'm not sure if they're all majority bots, but I would say, because like I said, I haven't really played Battle Royale in quite some time. But they've been bots since like 2018, 2019. So now they just tell you there's bots there. But there was bots back then. That's how I played the game originally, Akuta Papa, with no build. I wouldn't build. Everyone's like building up these towers and stuff, and I would just sneak around. I would get to the final circle. I would let everyone fight, and then I would just pick them off, and I would win. I don't build all that shit. I have no inkling to build a skyscraper with a pool and a deck and all that stuff while I'm fighting in a shooter. I'll just sit back, hang out, slowly, methodically go around the map where they don't see me, and then take my shot and hit them up. And by the time they know, they're like, I'll wait till they just got in a fight and now they're healing, and then I'll get them. Like, no way. The maps are better built around zero build now than the maps back when they bought the OG. Matches are still with bots, but matchmaking is a bit better. You're fighting people almost like your same level. Well, that's good. So the skill-based matchmaking is not that. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. I like playing methodical, slow methodical. You can go back to my Twitch channel. I still have multiple clips up there for when I played Battle Royale. You would never see me build. We need Lego Redfall. You can just make every game Lego. Oh, absolutely. The bots. I remember having the conversation and talking about it on a podcast years ago, back in 2018. It was like November 2018. Maybe it was. I remember being on a podcast. I forget if it was GXG or if it was the round table that we did. But I remember going up against bots, and I said, "There's bots in the game." Everyone's like, "There's not bots in the game." Like, there's definitely bots in the game, because you see the guy like nobody moves like that. Nobody's moving like that. Like, I could put a controller in my mom's hands who doesn't play video games at all, and she would still be like this, right? Moving like... She might be, like, pointing up at the ground or, you know, pointing up in the air or on the ground, but... All right. Let's talk about Blizzard. So when the game came out, I said that the game would take 1 year to fix. 1 year to get back, a minimum 12 months to get back to what it should be at launch. Okay. Now, I played 168 hours of Diablo. I enjoyed the story. I played the end game type of stuff. I got to level 85. And then Season 1 started. I played one day, not even. I played like 2 hours of that season and went, nope, I'm good. I'll see you in Season 4. So here's some of the changes they're making in it. Okay. So Blizzard just killed Diablo 4 by announcing its list of changes so massive that it's practically a new game. Okay. Now, I don't know if I should read this one or this one. I think I'll read this one instead. Yeah, let's go with this one instead. This one has more information. There's a lot here, okay? There's a 2-hour stream or an 1.5-hour stream, okay? So we need to get it right. As Diablo 4 hits Xbox Game Pass, Blizzard outlines a major shakeup in the delay of Season 4. Season 4 will bring a huge itemization change, interacting endgame craft systems, new boss ladder, plethora of class balances and also tested by the community. Okay, so what you need to know. Season 4 will arrive later than scheduled on May 14th for huge itemization changes and endgame systems to be implemented. Diablo 4 will also get its first ever player test realm to test all the Season 4 changes on Battle.net. The PTR will now be available for PC players to play from April 2nd to April 9th. Items in the game are being reworked to be much simpler and compared to dropping a fewer fixed and opportunity higher power fixes than seen before. New crafting systems are being added to give players control over their items, and reaching endgame content will be faster than ever, so everyone from casual to hardcore players can engage with the new content. Oh, imagine that. It says, today, Diablo 4 Campfire Chat has been built up as quite a make-or-break event for Diablo 4. I think it's tough competition from lower-priced games like Last Epoch, coming to enroach the territory. Excuse me. The pressure is also bringing back players who also tried to lackluster Season 3 in Paramount. We were promised a considerable itemization overhaul to the game coming with Season 4, and will it deliver? Now, the Campfire Chat has also the opportunity for developers to sit down and discuss the community's changes coming before each patch, update, and the game. Today was clear at the start of Diablo's devs want to get it the right to kicking off the show, and an announcement for Season 4's start date will be delayed till May 14th. Now, the huge change to itemization will be concentrated on quality and not quantity. So the second goal, Joe Pesci, Associated Game Director, kicked off the itemization portion of the update, stating a clear goal to concentrate on quality of items rather than quantity. Many items found in the game, and you end up shifting through the item to find 99% junk. And this doesn't feel great, and you can feel a chore. I said this when we were playing. I was like, man, there's just so much. Like, Division has this problem as well, Division 2, okay? You just get so much stuff that you spend 20, 25 minutes trying to go through stuff, and there's lots of text in Diablo, right? Lots of text, so you have to read through everything to make sure. Okay, the second goal for the update is to attach the journey of sorts to get the best items. Currently, the best and pinnacle items don't really have a progression associated with them. Once you find one, you're done. Diablo 4 will be more engaging and will also have engaged with these items and improve them. Oh, imagine that. Thirdly, the devs want to focus on moments of surprise and delight during the item chase. The moments are still infrequent, but they say want us to have them and excited about the drops. So how will Diablo 4 turn things around to reach the lofty goals, making items exciting? So they have base item updates. Items can now have a similar pool of affixes, more relevant to more potent. And then also much easier to see the scanning of the item is good for your build or not. So now there's trading allowed within legendaries and uniques. Enhancing the crafting items will also make it account bound, and Uber uniques are excluded from this. Extra ranks are a single core skill. Only sacred items will now drop in World Tier 3. Only Ancestral World Tier 4. Affixed values are Punisher and also will be felt. Legendary items drop from monster level 95 plus are always 925 item power. Gems are more straightforward, better than have longer crafting tail. Salvage crafting and rewards are also retuned. Significantly reduced item drop rates, less time sorting, more time slaying. Item re-rolling gold costs capped. Crafting materials removal and consideration. Forgotten Souls will now drop from Whispers and Elites. And uniques now will also drop earlier in the game. Many of the items will drop in World Tier 1 and 2, and then they can drop in World Tier 3. Uber uniques can also start dropping from monsters from 55 and above, and will always drop at 925 power. Okay, so these are big fixes for the game. But it's like, why did they have to do this from the very beginning? Why do they have to hold it close to their chest and be like, no, you can't do this? Not until the game comes out on Game Pass and it's struggling. It is struggling. Okay, they still have a player base, but it's struggling. They're losing a lot of players, and they got to bring those players back, right? So the Codex of Power just got a whole load of to be useful as well. During your gearing experience in Diablo 4, you'll be no doubt that you have to visit the Oculus. That also times to painstakingly remove legendary affixes from the gear. These affixes then can take up space in your stash until they appeal to the new gear. And notoriously difficult for sort of through at pace. Well, the system also has been completely overhauled, and now you have to put out of the job. But salvaging a piece of legendary gear and affix into your codex of power will automatically update to the highest roll of your affix that you have found. Imagine that. Okay. You'll also then be able to constantly imprint the roll of your gear until you have, of course, the higher roll. The codex will also highlight the gold when you have found the highest rank of affix. That's basically what they do in Division. Okay. Tampering will also add more customization to your build. Okay. Tampering manuals will give you more customization for your character and skill. The tampering system will also be coming with Season 4 to both internal and seasonal realms, and the first new crafting system being added to the game to give us more control over creating the perfect item. Tampering is also a crafting system that allows you to add new affixes to your items, and tampering manuals will also drop the most content in the game and will also require any target farming. Okay, or will not require any target farming. You can re-roll affixes up to individual items, and tampering durability will also add a bunch of cool affixes, new affixes you've not seen before. Greater affixes now add a new level of rarity to items. Items now can drop with just as legendary affix, but greater affix. There are more powerful versions of the regular affixes and have a 1.5 times multiplier on the affix max roll. These exciting drops are also immediately apparent from their appearance. Later on the Q&A, developers were also asked the icons of these drops could be made more obvious, akin to the immediate visual cue of the Primal Ancient dropping in Diablo 3. You also have Masterworking adds a new endgame crafting mechanic. Okay, Masterworking will be a brand new endgame late play activity to perfect for your items. This will improve the value of the current affixes as 12 upgrade ranks, with each rank slightly increasing the value of the affixes, and a particular item every 4 ranks. One single affix will be massively upgraded. Masterworking will also require specific crafting materials obtainable by the late game activity discussed later, the pit. Okay. Class changes, a bunch of class changes will also be coming. They'll detail the full patch notes, a high volume of meaningful class updates to move the needle rather than just damage the health going up and down. Did they add another class yet? Or do we still have the same classes that were in the game originally? I'm asking. Hardcore play just got actually hardcore. So hardcore play in Diablo 4 permadeath mode, if you die, your character and all the equipment that you wear are gone, but you also have to start again. Some hardcore players have complained that the mode isn't generally pure in the game due to the elixir of death on invasion. This is also being removed from the game, so no more cheating death. And the flame shield enchantment, another cheat death mechanic, is also being redesigned. Endgame will also both more obtainable and have more activities. Oh, Endgame having more activities. You mean instead of this, it's this? I don't think it's an upside down triangle. I think it's more of a straight line. It's probably got like two, maybe 2 things, maybe 3 things. Let's see. Endgame as a whole will be more obtainable for casual players. Diablo 4 wants us to get there faster to experience all the new content. Therefore, XP gains in the early world tiers will increase to level up faster. In addition to the world tier 1 and 2, are now be able to take part of the Hell Tides. The Hell Tides will also have higher density of threats. The new threat meter also builds up while killing monsters. When the threat meter is full, the Hellborn appears. The Hellborn is also adventurers who also have fallen to the depravities of hell, and also significant drops as well as materials for taking out the Lord Zir on the boss ladder. Summoning materials to the boss ladder also now drop from the other content in the game, such as treasure goblins, whisper chests. Summoning bosses and moving through the endgame boss ladder is much easier. The rare summoning materials can also drop during a Helltide to summon a brand new public event. Okay, the Blood Maiden. And finally, we can fight Adelia again. Okay, so you can also, the pinnacle moment of the story for me, she was the nemesis of Diablo 2. Also arranged to quit the game many times before finally beating her. It's always felt like a kind of anticlimactic and couldn't visit the first again after completing the story, but now I can. So great, you can go back there. New activity, the pit. So the new activity is the pit. Does that mean it's the Nightmare Dungeon? Is this the only thing people are going to be running now? Is the pit? So the pit will be the end game activity similar to the playstyle, but the accessible much earlier on, and also just for elite and end game builds. But also you want to be pushed to the deeper levels to get materials that you need to masterworking. Will also drop in the pit, which is also used to summon the level 200 versions of each boss ladder boss. Yeah, but why? what am I doing with this, right? Why do I need to go to the pit to get this material for what, right? Some juicy parts were left in the Q&A. Okay, it says the stream finished unusual Q&A and community. So what will happen to the current items after the rework? Previous items will become legacy items. This will also still be obtainable, but you also will not be able to use the new crafting system with them. Right, so they're sunsetting them. And the way they sunset them is, well, you just can't use them because these new weapons are going to be more powerful, and you can't take the weapons that you have, so you're going to have to regrind all your stuff. Okay? It says Eternal Realms new items, or what's new. All this stuff will be Eternal Realm as well as seasonal. So everything I've read is going to be in the Eternal Realm as well. Is there seasonal stuff too? We haven't talked about Season 4 specific content yet, but more info is coming. Okay. Was the camera more zoomed out in the dev build? Yes. From Season 4, there will also be an option to zoom the camera out more. Oh, wow. It only took them almost a year to pull the camera back a little bit. Will it be able to have loadouts like an armory? It says, we've heard the feedback and we know you guys want it, and we don't have anything announced yet. Means they don't have anything. General question about the store having better looking items in the game. We're looking to change so people can earn currency in the battle pass for the store. Retroactive changes are coming to the portal pass, so you won't be class locked. Okay. Can Uber Uniques get a greater affix and be masterworked? Yes. And will the aspect of changes also apply to the alternative characters? The codex will apply to all characters on a realm, so all the seasonal and all the hardcore and all the eternal. So there you go. And then they have the PR play test and whatnot. So it sounds like they're making really good changes. Okay. But it still seems about another, once this season comes out, it still needs Season 5 and Season 6. By Season 6, I think they'll have their shit together, which will be about 18 months after the game came out. Okay. I think this is good. This is intriguing to me. Like right now, if nothing else comes out, like if Outlaws doesn't come out, or Transformers Reactivate doesn't come out, or the first Descendant doesn't come out, I might jump back into Diablo over the summer. Okay? But if they do come out, if anything else comes out, like anything else, I'll be like, does anybody going once, going twice? Are you interested? Like I'm looking for anything but to go back to Diablo because it doesn't sound appealing to me still. Okay? Here's the thing about the Eternal Realm. All the stuff that happens, now, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't played Diablo since Season 1 hour in. Okay? I have to still partake in the seasons, right? And to do the seasons, I have to start a new character. And to start a new character, I have to start back over at level 1. Okay? So, can I use my Eternal character? Can I go back and continue playing? Is the older season stuff in the Eternal Realm yet? Or is it just still the new stuff is only in the season and then it comes to the Eternal Realm later? Is that still the way it is? Maybe they fixed it and I don't know. There's changes of tons of things related to the loot. For all the things coming down, many of them are what types of drops of items and getting a ton of redundancies. Argus says, I definitely recommend anyone interested to go and watch the campfire. It's more in-depth and better explanation than these cliff notes. All this just tells me that Diablo 4 should have released early access. Yeah, well, I said it last year. I think Diablo 4 should have waited a year, but they didn't. I don't think there's any new classes until the first expansion. D4 needed different variants of enemies and more RNG-based maps and enemy positions rewarding combat get better. I hated the fact that Nightmare Dungeons were the only thing. That's the end game. Like the Hell Tides and stuff like that, that's just busy work when you're bored. But the most efficient thing was to do the Nightmare Dungeons. They pulled a Bungie. Well, no, they didn't pull a Bungie. Bungie literally took those things out of the game. You had no choice. This, they're giving you a choice. You can still hold on. You can literally still hold on to your weapons. You just won't be able to use the new stuff on those weapons, right? So, they didn't take them away from you. but they're letting you know that, hey, these weapons, these legacy weapons, you won't be able to do the new stuff with it because they would be too overpowered. Path of Exile's beta launches June 7th, so yeah, there you go. I won't play that either, though. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of person. Yeah, so there you go. There is the Diablo changes. And then we're really shitting on Blizzard today. We're really shitting on Blizzard. Okay? Overwatch 2 devs fear story missions have been canceled. A lot of people don't remember this, but when Overwatch first came out, one, it was supposed to be a free-to-play game. And then magically, they charged $40, and then they charged $70 or $60 at the time. And then there was, loot boxes and all this other stuff. Then they said, Overwatch 2. It's going to have PvE story. This is what we're dedicated for. This is what it is. And now they're like, oh, we can't do it. We've delayed it, or we're removing that. We're still doing this. They completely changed it. So basically, Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 1 with a 2 at the end of it, and that's it. Okay? So the PvE campaign was pitched as the sequel, Big Pillar. Non-exec developers tell Kotaku the future is unclear. Now, in the last few months, Overwatch 2 fans have grown increasingly worried about the state of the hero shooter story missions. The missions were pillar of the sequel initial pitch at BlizzCon 2019, the shiny new thing that merits making a new game instead of patching the original one, like most live service projects. But the Overwatch 2 October 2022 launch, only one set of missions that have been released in August of 2023. Currently, there is no release window for more. For Blizzard, January Xbox layouts primarily affected developers working on those missions. What's more, recent changes of Overwatch 2's menus suggest that story missions are at very least being deprioritized. Okay, so since 2019 announcements, Overwatch 2 has transformed into itself something almost unrecognizable from the original promises. Okay, what was pitched as the sequel that would also be existing alongside the first hero shooter became a free-to-play title and completely replaced the first game, leaving the original 6v6 unplayable. Blizzard gutted the promised PvE mode and outright canceled the hero mode, which also could be added playable levels of customized skill trees. Now there's also just 3 30-minute missions available, and those are regulated to the small section of Overwatch 2's game mode screen. Now some of the developers fear that the years of work won't see the light of day. So Kotaku chatted with several ex-Blizzard employees, all whom spoke to the condition fear of retribution, so they're anonymous, okay? But the past, present, and the future of Overwatch 2 campaign missions. Now, the difficulty of developing Overwatch 2 story mode, according to a former developer, Blizzard's plan was to release Overwatch 2's campaign in multiple content drops over several years. But the project had been tied up in the pipeline issues dating back more than 5 years. The team was also told the intent was to drop 3 missions around every 18 months. Jesus Christ, talking about milking something. They added that the new entire campaign may not even be ready to ship yet. Every mission is reportedly in some degree of completion of Blizzard, according to the same sources that also levels range from fully playable to still in concept. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Make a game, sell a game. Why do we have to pitch a game, promise the game, hype up the game, do all the stuff with the game, and then yet not make the actual game? It's so retarded. Okay? Work on the campaign missions were apparently held up to pursuit of the nebulous thing called Blizzard quality, a term used to describe a standard that the company aspires to. According to one source, it became a crutch that was frequently used to avoid making the calls that would also move the development of the story missions forward. Now, Blizzard's quality of justification is essentially pissed about forever and ever redoing the same work over and over, the source said. Some executives goes, but it's Blizzard quality. it's always leadership and the game directors deciding if they need to spend the extra time. So honestly, if they could have just have the kind of decision the game would also have shipped years ago. At this point, I think it's the upper management that is they're just feeding into this stuff just so they can keep getting their check, their salaries. They're like, yeah, I could drag this out for 5 years so I can get my money. Like, I don't even think they want to make a game anymore at this point. Okay. Another source said that the resilience of the Blizzard quality may also contribute to the frequent iterations of the original concept. But that wasn't the only issue team faced while also trying to work on Overwatch 2's story mission. Now, Overwatch PvP gameplay just turned out to be very difficult to adapt from PvE, mostly because of how differentiated the PvP-oriented and the hero kits are. The source told Kotaku via text message. Now, sources describe the internal sentiment around the story missions as never outright negative, but increasingly pessimistic. That's always good. Hey, guys, we're going to make a PvE story. Everyone's like, do we have to? Like, you're asking employees to do their job, and they're like, I don't really want to work on that. Okay? Like, can we get people that actually want to do the job that they're supposed to be doing? Make a different team? Make just a PvP section, make a PvE section. Who wants to make some PvE content for Overwatch? They're like, did you raise your hand? Oh no, I had an itch. Okay. So yeah, designers, programmers, artists, Q&A, all the disciplines on the Steam constantly making suggestions, ideas to improve or to try to do the best we could. But it was all either shot down by a few gatekeepers or just there's no point, there's no time, they're told Kotaku. Almost every single team, town hall, there was questions about what do we do with it doesn't succeed. I don't feel confident that it has performed well. Holy Christ. Every day you get up and you go do your thing. You should fail, so you know not to fail again. You should make mistakes, so you don't make mistakes again. You should put all your effort into a game, whatever it is. Fuck it. It's not even a game. Whatever you're doing in life, you put 100%. I don't care if you're emptying the dishwasher, mowing the lawn, or making a fucking video game. Okay? Like, listen to that. What they just said. They said, oh, a lot of people, every single town hall were like, questions like, what about if it doesn't succeed? But what about if we fail? What about if I fail my test? What about if it doesn't? Holy Christ. I don't feel confident that it will perform well. What are we going to do about the players being disappointed? We are disappointed. People are disappointed because you didn't make a game. You made promises that you didn't actually hit. That's why we're disappointed. Make a game. Sell a game. Make a product. Sell the product. Make a movie. Sell the movie. It was meant to either don't worry about it or we'll be fine. We have so much confidence in it. Trust us. Sources say that the Overwatch 2 was pitched to fans as a fresh start with new ideas, new content, new gameplay, competitive suite. As always, priority of the story missions suffered because of it. This lines up with the Blizzard has the openly stated that Keller's May 2023 announcement that the team was gutting its plan for PvE modes to prioritize the live game. But the decision to cancel the hero mode was reportedly made in the late in development process in December of 2022, 2 months after the game early access launch and 6 months before the company made an official announcement. They knew they were canceling it, and yet they did it anyway. Okay, PvP was understood to be more of a core game success. A source said everybody was still cared a lot about the PvE though, and it includes the team leadership. According to one source, the argument was mad internally that the Overwatch 2 team would need a double in size to give both PvP and PvE resources. Blizzard believed that they needed it, but there was also dissent on that front. Okay, they used to say all the time that we would essentially need 2 400-people teams, one for PvP and one for PvE, to have the personnel needed. A source said, I don't think that's true. We're already too many cooks. 400 people for PvP, 400 people for PvE. Dear Lord. God. Okay. So, do the Xbox layoffs spell more trouble for Overwatch 2's campaign? So, was development on the story missions halted? One source said that Activision Blizzard wanted the first batch of story missions to do a serious number, justifying completing with the campaign. Another said that those missions did not do well at all, both financially and in terms of player sentiment. The January Xbox layoffs affected several members of the Overwatch 2 team, including several developers who worked in narrative of PvE and events. This doesn't confirm a cancellation, but it does doesn't spark any hope on these missions we'll see in the light of day. It says, quote, if there's going to make more of that stuff, then they just laid off all the people who are working on it, unquote. A source said, quote, maybe there's also some other way that they could do it, but most of the people laid off from Overwatch team were working on that pillar, unquote. The overreaching sentiment of the people of Kotaku spoke to was that despite the development issues, everyone on Overwatch 2 teams wanted the story missions to PvE to stand alongside the competitive game. However, it doesn't sound like the higher-ups above them felt the same way. Amazing. Amazing. I always find it like mind-boggling that these people, they work in the industry. They work in the business. Like, if I ask a plumber, how long is it going to take you to do this job? If it's a skilled plumber, he'll tell you, it'll be done in like 45 to an hour. It could take 6 hours. Like, he knows what he has to do for the work, right? If I ask a musician how long it will take you to write a song, they'll tell you. If I ask an artist how long it will take them to do a picture, they can tell you. Game developers, upper management, let me put it this way, they promise a whole bunch of stuff. It's like me coming up, like me and Sarge, if we came up with the Battlefield G.I. Joe game, we pitch it to you. There's nothing like, it's going to have this, it's going to have this. We get your hopes and expectations up so high, and then we come out with a game that's nothing like G.I. Joe. Well, no, it's not even a Battlefield game anymore. It's just, it's got 3 characters. It's a team-based shooter. It doesn't have any, like, nothing of what we said it was going to have. That is called lying through your teeth to get people excited, right? To get investors to come in to give you money. You're pitching something that doesn't exist and then don't even follow through with the stuff that you pitched. You go completely, well, it's just a little too hard. We're not really in the mood to make that thing. It's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Akuta Papa says, to be fair, Overwatch was boring anyway. Regardless, though, Akuta Papa, if it's boring, the fact of the matter is this is everyday occurrence in the industry, right? They literally sold people on a game, and the game is not even what the game is. They literally told you Overwatch 1 is done and Overwatch 2 is it, just to sell you another game. Because they weren't getting enough interaction with that game. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just go back to Overwatch 1. Seems like they really wanted to do it. Was reset the microtransaction store, wipe everyone's skins. Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. Skilled plumbers say it'll take 30 minutes, but I'm charging you for 2 hours. Right. Welcome to Blizzard. At least they know. The point of that statement, though, Jones, is they know how long it takes to do a job. Right? They could do it in 30 minutes, but they'll take 2 hours to fix it. They'll be like, I gotta get something for my truck. Hold on a second. Welcome to Blizzard. Here, we ruin every franchise that made us popular because of overlords stopped caring about the quality and just wants to make easy money. They damn sure ain't delivering 400 employee PvP experience on the amount of content. They can't possibly take 400 employees to maintain. Did you hear what they said, though? 3 missions, 18 months. 3 missions, 18 months. What? Nobody in gaming knows how long anything takes. I have a friend of a friend, right? So my brother-in-law has one of his best friends. I have no idea what he does, right? He doesn't even know what he does, right? I always ask him because he's like, yeah, I gotta go to work. I go, what do you do for a living? He can't just say like, what do I do for a living? I was a camera operator, right? What do you do for a living? I am a doctor. I'm a plumber, right? This guy can't tell you, right? And he doesn't do anything shady, at least like for the mob or anything. He's like, I'm a consultant. And I'm like, well, what do you do? He's like, well, I tell these people to go do this job. And I'm like, why can't those people just go do that job? What do you do? Right? He's like, what? I get these people to do this. And I'm like, yeah, but what do you do? He can't tell me what he does. That's what I feel like these people do, right? They have no idea how long anything takes or what it does. Just completely lost. Been doing it for 15 years, doesn't know what he does. Can't describe what he does. Well, all I do is take this and I move it over here. Yeah, but why? Nobody in gaming knows what they're doing anything inflated. Best true statement you've ever had, said Krubsy. What did Krubsy say? Yachts greater than... right, dignity. Right, absolutely right, Krubsy. One worker, 50 managers. They literally do absolutely nothing. I know. And he gets paid really well. Really well. When I go to his house, I just look around this guy's house, right? He's well off. He's got 2 kids. Very well, right? Spends absurd amount of money, but yet doesn't know what he does. I mean, at least whisper to me, right? Or something, right? I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? I said Hitman, by the way. Hitman, I don't know if the mic picked it up. It's so ridiculous. What do you say you do here? Well, I come in 15 minutes late, so Lumberg doesn't see me. All right, Peter, you got some managerial skills here. We'd like to give you a promotion. Did they show? Is there a tweet? You guys put it in Discord? Suicide Squad. All right. All right, let's read through this since they posted it. Okay, Suicide Squad patch notes. Season 1 comes out next week, the 28th, I believe. Okay, so here's Season 1, Episode 1. 1 week from today is when it comes out. It says, it's time to take your seats, raise your curtains, and arm the explosives as Joker is making his debut performance in Season of the Joker. Right, the dynamite performer. After all his world's Suicide Squad died in fighting a Brainiac, he's unfortunate in violent, explosive fashion. The Joker is back for some in-dimensional revenge. Young, energetic, and eager to make a name for himself. This is a new take on the iconic supervillain. Is just the injection, okay, of Suicide Squad needs. Here's the thing. A lot of people are talking about if they make him gay in this Suicide Squad, it's over for them. It's over for them. With all this Sweet Baby Inc. talk going on, if they made Joker gay, it's over for them. I'm just putting it out there. Okay? The Joker comes with an entirely new traversal kit using explosive umbrella. Okay? To fly around the city in style and hopefully in one piece. With hop, skip, and boom, the Joker takes his skies, launching himself head over heels towards any enemies unfortunate enough to stand in his way. Then, when in the air, the Joker can fuel his umbrella to float gently to the ground while raising explosives below. The rider swoop forwards at great speed, probably also raining explosives. Now, the Clown Prince Crime also comes with an internally new talent tree. 3 new playstyles of Jester, Firestarter, and Ringmaster. Jester will also see Joker doing some crowd work, getting up close and personal, introducing Brainiac's forces to his new flail with devastating melee buffs. Firestarter introduces a new theme affliction specialization to our new character, with the Joker having a specialized infinity of fire. With talents to strike the match and plenty of fan the flames, he'll be getting on with the rest of the squad like the house on fire. Now, the finally Ringmaster is a Joker's way of making a dramatic entrance with the frantic traversal. With the ways to extend the airtime and increase the damage while airborne, this is a playstyle for high-flying, fast-paced mobile Joker. The Places Like You is a guy like this. Now, a launch of a new season means new Elseworld to explore during incursions and mayhem missions. Season 1 sees a version of Metropolis affected with the twisted, warped mind of the Joker, creating a darkly comic reflecting of the city of tomorrow. Okay? With increasing the prop comedy, with increasing threats of Brainiac and his foes, the squad is going to have to improve their arsenal with beat the challenges. Thankfully, Season of the Joker, Episode 1 includes a litany of new legendary, notorious, infamy set gear to power you up and keep you in the fight. Now, Episode 1 will include a Scarecrow gear set with 3 twisted tier-based round poisoning and very minds of your enemies. A Nightmare introducing a set that could be also stacked fear of horror and enemies for terrifying effects. That looks pretty cool. Okay. Notorious items for this episode come from several iconic supervillains, including Mad Hatter, Polka Dot Man, and Reverse Flash, packed with wild and gaming-changing effects. These notorious items often existing built opportunities. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. This season will also see a launch of new weapons manufacturers featuring close range, high damage weapons. Shoot multiple projectiles with every shot. The manufacturer weapons make devastating close quarter builds. You'll also start seeing weapons that different rarities drops from manufacturers, including some existing legendary weapons. All right. Take the stage. This episode will include plenty of new missions for the complete Wild of Fighting and the Power Up, while there's also new Mayhem missions, the Assault missions, as well as the new type of incursion missions, the Combat incursions. These combat-focused incursions allow the squad to do what they do best, bash some heads together and however they see fit. Inside of Episode 1, Brainiac will be unleashing a host of new mutators, ramping up the challenges and forcing the squad to adapt to the battlefield. Enemies will gain Green Lantern shields or even return from the dead if not handled correctly, but thankfully, Brainiac's experimenting with the led to some unintended side effects that may also be able to help the squad. Here's some of the do bad and look good. Season 1 will bring in with the host of outfits, banners, win pose modes, and battle passes for Season 1. We'll have both a premium track and a free track, both featuring awesome outfits for the squad, like the Wayne Tech family outfits. This is also ultra high-tech sets shown to be the squad. Also would look like if they suited up with Lucius Fox and features several futuristic swatches. All right, so there's the there's King Shark and Joker. I'm just saying. I think I might be correct about the Joker. That doesn't look good at all. That particular outfit, I'm not a big fan of the Harley Quinn one, but Deadshot's Wayne Tech outfit will also be earnable from the free track battle pass, along with many of the swatches. Okay, where's Captain Boomerang? We have lowered the requirements for completing the endgame introduction. These are now as follows. Complete Elseworld missions. New Reach Finite Crisis, rank 5. Previous was 10. Complete Killing Time. New Reach Finite Crisis, rank 10, was 20. Complete Killing Hardcore, it was 15. Previous was 30. And Complete Mayhem Mission at Mastery level 10. Patrol missions during the endgame are also granted 50% XP boost for 45 minutes upon completion. This boost does not stack, however. The duration will refresh if it complete additional patrols while the boost is active. The Affliction immunity mutators no longer requires enemies to be hit with a critical hit to remove the effects. It is now removed when enemies take any damage. The Boom mutators no longer triggers on Shield Harvest or Suicide Strike kill. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Because I would hit to heal and then die instantaneously. It was so dumb. Okay, we have several new HUD customization options as well as a toggle on and off. These are health and shield bars, XP bar, traversal resource bar, special abilities, support action, input prompts, mission objectives. And care package and Claire care packages have their rewards updated to reflect the time effort needed to increase their tiers. This also follows, okay, common. Okay, so it's just they changed the epic and stuff. Okay, clan care packages, rewards. Okay. Enemy snipers have had received some changes to slow them down a little to give player more opportunity to deal with them. Thank God. They can now also damage while teleporting. Snipers now take 30% damage while teleporting from 0%, which is huge. Sniper teleportation cooldown has been increased from 7 seconds up to 3 seconds. Sniper teleport approximate distance decreased from 5 meters to 8 meters. And snipers will no longer teleport if they have the same rooftop as the player while still being outside the teleport proximity distance. They changed the assault mission to only offer legendary notorious items as rewards upon completion and no longer epic or below. Thank you very much. I said that they should do that. It was stupid. Why are you still giving me that stuff? Every game before you has always made the same mistake, and yet you made the same mistake. You fixed it pretty fast, though. UI improvements have been made to stacking debuffs on enemies. These should now be more readable. Riddler trophies in scan range are now highlighted. Brainiac and Finite Crisis now takes a single increased damage from counters. Oh, that's good. Several prelude improvements to help new players get to grips with the game's mechanics. Players will now periodically remind how to perform a retroactive action, progress current section that they're playing through. If players consistently fail a segment of the prelude, then they'll also offer the option to skip it. Dynamic tutorials. Let's see. Updated legendary augments and displayed damage on the slot machine grenade. Reduce the maximum number of stacks of Brazzaro. Reduce the level of requirement to unlocking the Lucky Charm. Let's see. Lower the target scores for round 2 and 3 of Penguin's Tick-Tock Boom. Change the text objectives. Updated the icons for Jinx Unlucky Coin. Change the difficulty to set best paid attention. Okay, bug fixes. Let's see if they fixed it. Okay. In this patch, we've made several improvements to the fixes on how the game handles players' data alongside other back-end improvements. We put it live over the past couple of weeks. This also addresses many of the issues, not all the issues, relating to the logging into the game, loading into multiplayer sessions, and generally improve loading times. We have also addressed several issues that preventing players unlocking and progressing their mastery levels. If you are still experiencing significant issues of above after the patch, please head on over to the bug reporting. Fix additional loading issues. Okay. Fix the bug and previously locked some players out of progressive through mastery levels. Fix the bug and sometimes cause players to be locked out of mastery levels. Fix the bug that causes also sometimes block mastery levels progress, completing 3 incursions. Fix the bug and sometimes cause incursions tutorial. Fix the bug to prevent improved incursion mission run times. Fix the bug for sometimes stop gear modifications made by multiplayer sessions. Fix an affliction immunity sometimes not showing in the list of mutators. Fix the bug that also rare circumstances causes AI squad members to not be present. Oh, that's good. That's a big one. Fix the bug that incorrectly displayed players' statuses in incursion missions. Fix the bug where they also could cause the area retrieving messages displayed. Fix the bug to sometimes prevent players from correctly unlocking grenades during Don't Blow It Up mission. Fix the bug that caused the game to get stuck on skip pending. Preventing players from starting a Kill Brainiac mission. A bug that also sometimes caused players to get stuck in the loading screen. Okay. Improve optimization of foliage, grass, and improve performance of frames per second. Fix the bug that caused loot from the loot spawn bug. A bug stop players from being able to unlock grenades. Augments showing invalid augments. Various disconnections that could sometimes occur during online sessions. Bug that sometimes prevented players from joining a squad. Bug that prevented players from being able to communicate with the squad. Bug allowed players to still receive friend invites. A bug that allowed players to send invites and friends while in the game. A bug that multiplayer also caused there to be no assigned squad leader. A bug that sometimes caused matchmaking settings to be unavailable for players. A bug sometimes caused a voice chat. Let's see, what else? Caused bots to switch and duplicate characters upon loading into. Caused a bug that players also have different weather post rejoining. Fixed the bug when multiplayer sometimes resulted in players with lower scores receiving MVP XP bonuses. Prevented players from rejoining incursions. Prevented a player from rejoining a mayhem mission. Leaderboard bug resulted in ranks being displayed incorrectly. Allowed players to matchmake while in mayhem. Jesus. Achievements, prevented achievement, supporting. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to read all this. Look at all of this. Yeah, just you could go to the patch notes and read all this stuff. My God. Holy Christ. Right. So what's the end just? Is it working correctly? Can I go play the game now? Right? So this comes out next week. Okay. hopefully this fixes a lot of the stuff that was happening with the game. What game is this? Suicide Squad. Okay. I'll tell you what though. Everything that's going on right now, and I'm being dead serious. I don't personally care. I enjoyed the game. But with the world the way it is right now with the SBI stuff going on and people shitting on this game so much, it doesn't matter if they fix this game and it works perfectly. If Joker comes out in the story and he is not Joker and they changed him in some way, shape, or form, they're gonna get shit on. No, I think it goes live next week when it comes out. Water, if Joker's gay, this game is done. It's going to get destroyed publicly. It's going to be front page on SBI information. 28th, yeah. Kurt says, so word on Dragon's Dogma. Anyone played it yet? It's getting good reviews, Kurt. It's getting very good reviews. You can download on the 26th. Okay. Rose says, that list of massive bugs has me disinterested at this point, but I don't think I'm going to back even for the Joker and the new content. They lost me. Yeah, it's a shame. Didn't it feel like the 2 months that went by, it felt like 9 months? Seriously. The 2 months that the game's been out, right? It'll be 2 months to the day almost from early access on March 28th. It felt like almost the entire year went by. Quintar says, if the Joker is not crushing hard on Harley, it's done. I'm telling you, man, with the fever pitch that's going on right now, it's going to get destroyed. It doesn't matter if the game is fantastic or good. It's going to get dragged through the mud. Every YouTuber on the planet is going to use Suicide Squad on their thumbnail, and it'll all be for all the wrong reasons. I'm going to go back. We're going to play this next week. We'll probably play it next Thursday. I was out Thursday. I usually don't stream on games on Thursday. We might play it Thursday morning. We'll do like one story or something like that. We'll jump into Suicide Squad to see what it is for the new character. I'll give you my thoughts on the Joker character. See what the story and stuff is about, and then we'll have GXG the following, that night. What if not gay, but weirdly curious? I think if it's not the Joker, Z, I think only because, and I state this, I personally don't care. I'm saying just because of all the fever pitch that's going on right now with Sweet Baby Inc., how they're implementing stuff into games, right? If Joker is one of the most beloved characters as a villain in all of DC, right? If they come in and make him different, if they change him in any way, okay, from what he was to what he is, they're going to get dragged through the mud. That's just what's going to happen. I mean, they're dragging Suicide Squad through the mud right now because Harley Quinn is not super sexy, and that she doesn't have her outfit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at this. Right? There's no hiding it. We know for a fact that Sweet Baby Inc. was included into this game. We know they had, right? They physically changed Harley Quinn, right? We know this. It doesn't matter, Z. Again, what I'm saying is the fever pitch that's happening right now with them changing stuff in video games. I understand it's an Elseworld. It's a completely different Joker, right? But I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. They're going to get dragged through the mud. Right. They literally said King Shark is gay or bisexual or whatever. Right? That was an article. That was an article. They'll probably drop it on Friday. Or they'll do it on Tuesday. I don't know. If they were smart, they would drop a trailer, but we already know what the trailer is for Joker, right? So I guess they could show us stuff about Scarecrow or I don't know. There's got to be some sort of season trailer, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Joker's already Joker. Better off being a new character. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the character. I'll probably level him up now that I can actually play the game again with multiplayer and stuff. I had fun with the game. I enjoyed the game. I have well over 100 hours in the game. Anytime Eclipse, anytime they market a thing with that type of stuff is 100% for gaslighting. That's it. That's it. Oh, I did watch. I'll talk about it on the entertainment part. We're gonna end right now. I'm gonna take a little bit break. I'm gonna go eat and whatnot. But we're gonna have on this channel, 30 NSG. I'm gonna have the Nerding with 30 segment over here in about 40 minutes or so. Okay, we're gonna start at like 1 o'clock, and we'll have a whole segment of talking about the Acolyte, George Lucas, and what else? A bunch of stuff. I gotta get it set up. So yeah, we'll talk about the X-Men '97. I watched the first episode of it. No spoilers. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on it and whatnot. No spoilers for the actual show itself. So if you haven't seen it, just generically talking about it. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. So I'm done for this first segment. It's a busy day for me, right? So we're morning show done. I'm gonna take a 45-minute break. Come back at 1 o'clock on this channel. We're gonna be talking about the entertainment stuff, and then tonight Generation X gaming. So appreciate it very much. I'll see you guys in just about an hour, half hour or so. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like what we do here. Make sure if you want to go above and beyond that, hit the subscribe button hit the membership button as little as $5. We do live streams, uploads, podcasts. So lots of different content on here across multiple channels. We have 30 and Still Gaming, which is gameplay. We have NSG, which is live. And then we have Nerding with 30, which is also entertainment stuff. Appreciate it very much. I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes right here on 30 NSG. Peace.